Hey, welcome back. Time to catch up with Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward with what's happening in the city of Burlington. Lots happening. Good morning. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Bob.
Yeah, I haven't talked to you in a couple of weeks, and this morning, big news on a couple of fronts. So let's talk about the apartment tower on Lakeshore. Of course, that was a devastating blow, with the increased height to 29 stories. You're not appealing that. You can explain the reason behind that decision, which was after much discussion.
It was a really tough call,
Yeah.
and I know residents wanted to fight this. Certainly, I felt that. Many of us did. And we looked at our long-term best interest for the community and all of the other appeals and work that we need to do, and felt that our focus should be on that and on defending our official plan, which is currently under appeal. So certainly the minister's decision to grandfather in 7 applications that are on the books didn't have to do that. Unusual to do that for a provincial level decision, but he did, and that's made our job harder. But our resolve has not dimmed in the least, and we will continue to fight for the community's vision for downtown.
Right, but this city plan, so this is in front of the tribunal, so you're waiting for approval on that, but doesn't that decision conflict with any possible approval?
So the decision is not in keeping with what's in our old or our new official plan. Of course, they were asking for an official plan amendment. That's why it went to the tribunal. But our official plan, our new official plan that we worked on to scale back some of the high-rise developments that were proposed by the previous council. We completed that work over a year ago, was approved by Halton Region as well, and it sits at the tribunal. So, when you talk about what's slowing down delivery of housing in this province, it is the fact that the Ontario Lands Tribunal exists at all to overturn democratic decisions. It adds a year or two to the timeline to get anything done. It's the definition of red tape.
Yeah, so what is the timeline on that decision from the tribunal on the city plan?
Oh, it's going to take a while. There are many steps in the process, so we're a long way out from that.
All right, well, we'll keep following it. Let's talk about the taxi situation with Burlington Taxi gone, and this has created a bit of a crisis. You were swamped with calls and emails on the weekend.
I was, yeah. Residents were calling City Hall and looking for assistance. And of course, we're happy to try and do our best in this interim period, this gap between the closure of Burlington Taxi. We had a special council meeting last night. Council unanimously approved the ability for our staff. We waived our usual provisions to delegate to staff the ability to issue license to companies outside Burlington, adjust rates and fees accordingly, and a number of other measures to get them up and running. We have had interest from other taxi companies. A number of folks have reached out to the city of Burlington, and by passing that bylaw, it offers a level playing field for any company to bid and come to the city with a proposal, and we hope to have something up and running in a couple of days. That is a temporary solution while staff also in parallel look at long-term changes to our bylaw, and we expect that within a month or two.
Okay,
now the short-term as well as the long-term solution.
Okay, now this was something that was supposed to be dealt with back in 2018. The bylaw was going to be revised, and then it slipped through the cracks. At least one councillor has apologized for that. What happened?
So in 2018, there was a staff direction asking staff to review the taxi bylaw. In early 2019, our staff did form a small team to look into that. There were a number of meetings, and the intent was to report back to council with their findings and with any suggestions. And it was taken off a list of staff directions. So we keep a running tally of outstanding staff directions that's reported publicly to council. That's a new process, by the way, that this council has brought in. But it was taken off the list and we never got the review. And so absolutely, we acknowledge that review should have happened. It wouldn't have, it was different. What they were asking for in 2018 is different from the reasons why they said they closed, which were insurance and labor shortages. But nevertheless, The review should have happened. We acknowledge it should have happened. We acknowledge that we needed to do better, and we have. And we are. And so we now have a new process to track every single motion and staff direction in the city that's reported publicly, so that we know this won't happen again.
Okay. Well, at least hopefully this temporary bylaw and then future changes will get the situation back to an agreeable place real soon. Because what the existing the only one company is left, and what is like 4 cars for the city?
It's small, yes.
It's small, yeah.
So we do need a service. A lot of people have relied on that. So the city doesn't run the cab service. Just to be clear, there were a couple of folks that thought that it was a city service.
Right.
We license it.
Yeah.
So what we're looking to do is provide licenses in a way that acknowledges the changes in that industry for the past few years.
It's been tough in the industry, and it's actually high insurance rates among the factors.
Well, that's a huge issue. It's gone from about $5,000 a year to close to $20,000 a year per car, and there are global shortages in many industries, including this one. So that's why Burlington Taxi closed. It was unrelated to our bylaw changes that were requested in 2018, but nevertheless, we are working on it now, and we certainly acknowledge that the review that was supposed to happen.
Well, we got to scoot, and we'll talk again next week, and we hope that resolves quickly. Thanks so much, Burlington Mayor Marianne Meed Ward.
Thanks, Bob.